Benito, and today I'm right outside our office here at the Table Church, and why not? I was getting ready to do this, and I'm thinking it's too nice outside to do this indoors. So hopefully you're having a great Friday. Already have seen all the traffic. Oh my word! I was through Los Fresnos around noon, and spring break is upon us, and so I don't know what you're doing today, don't know what you have planned for the weekend, for next week, but I hope that you get a little bit of rest and relaxation if you have kids and they're having spring break this week. It should be a fun week. During our conversations at the table and here at the Table Church, we've been in the book of Job for the season of Lent. And again, Job's just a fantastic book any time of the year, but it's been great for Lent, especially as we think about our mortality, and really no book in the Bible really addresses our mortality better than the book of Job. But today I thought we've been in Job 14 this week. We're going to be in Job 23 on Sunday and next week, but thought we'd at least come back one more time to Job 14 because there's something else going on here that I thought would be good for us just to think about, especially as we head into the spring break week here in the RGV. And that is, when we think about what's going on with Job, and we've been talking about a tree stump and a sprout, it's easy for us to forget that this is something that is not just for ourselves, but for everybody. And when I say that, I'm talking about, we tend to focus on Job and what it means to me, and that's a good thing. I mean, it's why we've got the book of Job. But the other thing, too, is Job's a universal figure. He is everybody. And so what's going on with Job is all around us. It's not just with me and my own life and the stuff I have to deal with. It also has to do with our neighbor. And in the book of Job, Job loses everything. Again, I encourage you to read, just read the first two or three chapters of Job, and you'll get a quick feel for exactly where the book is going. But in that first chapter, he's got everything. It opens the scene is surreal. It's very garden-like. Sounds like Job's living the Garden of Eden. He's one of the wealthiest guys on the planet. Says he's a very successful guy. He's got lots of cattle, got lots of servants. He's got lots of land. He's got 10 kids, and the 10 kids spend their time, a lot of it, eating and drinking. It's almost a party, certainly a feast atmosphere there. But then overnight, Job loses everything, and it all has to do with a conversation between Satan and God. Satan says, the only reason Job likes you is because you've given him all this stuff. See, Satan believes that the relationship with God is transactional. If he doesn't believe that, he wants us to believe it for sure. And in fact, we're conditioned to think that. We're conditioned to think that our relationship with God is transactional. It's where we talk about God being a vending machine. And God is not a vending machine, but we treat him like he is. If I do this for God, then he's going to do this for me. And it sounds good. It even sounds biblical. In fact, Job's friends think this. They talk like this. Karma, you do good things, you're going to get good things from God. You do bad things, God's going to treat you like you are now, Job. It's not true. But Satan, the accuser, wants us to think that everything with God is transactional. And it's not. But here's why I said we also need to look at Job 14 as if it's for our neighbors. Because we live in a culture that thinks about God, and we live in a very religious community here in the Valley. So when we think about God, it's all transactional. You look at religion itself. Everything's transactional. What you put in is what you get out. And if you're not putting in, then you're not going to get anything out. If you want blessing, well, then you're going to have to give something. In fact, Lent. You go down that street where people have other ideas of what's going on with Lent. Yeah, sure. You want God to do something for you, better give up something, because that's how God works. And so Satan is doing this, and he's doing this through the friends to Job. He wants us to think like that, and certainly our culture thinks like this. So when we think about Job 14, Job's looking at a stump, dead stump. There's a sprout coming out of that stump, and he says, you know what? There's more hope for that tree than me. There's more hope for the stump than me. He thinks he's a goner. We've talked about that, and just go back and look at our last couple of conversations at the table. Job thinks he's a goner. His health is bad. His health is deteriorating, and I do think Job really thinks he's in his final days, and so he's just letting loose. And he's looking at that sprout, and he's like, "Man, that sprout, no, there's more hope for that thing than me, because I'm not coming back. I'm the stump, and I don't see any sprouts here." And then he says, "If a guy dies, if a man dies, is he going to sprout again?" That's what he says, and he's talking about himself. Here's the thing: we live with people like that all around us. So I want us to think about this for this weekend. Whatever you're doing this weekend, I want you to think with me and just open your ears, open your eyes with neighbors. We live in a hopeless world. There's a lot of stuff on the screens right now. This whatever screen you happen to be on, you're watching me. But all you got to do is scroll through me, which I'm sure all I have to do is suggest that, and I'm sure you'll be up to it. If you scroll, the next thing is bad news. It's all over our screens. It's all over the feeds. It's on our TVs. It's on our computer screens. It's just bad news. And there's a lot of stuff happening in the world. And all the data, you read all the data on Gen Z, they don't have any hope. This generation has very, very little hope, if any at all. And so that's the culture we speak into. That's our neighbor. Those are the people that we're going to be partying with throughout spring break. And they're trying to, and me too, we're trying to forget the world for a while. Forget reality for a while. And that'll happen this weekend even, leading into spring break. It goes on all the time. And escape. But you know what? Monday morning always comes around. And Monday morning will be a week from Monday. And reality is right there again. So, eyes open, ears open, be listening. You see, that sprout, oh my word, that sprout is everything. Job 14:7. Join Job as you look at that sprout. He can't see it, but the gospel shows us that sprout is a person. That sprout is hope. It's hope for Job. Job doesn't know it, but that sprout is hope. And that's hope for our neighbor. Our neighbors, they look at the world, everything's a stump. Everything's a stump. That's another good reason to come out here and be outside today. The greenery and the sunshine is kind of easy for us to think about it today. It's not raining. It's not gloomy. So it's easy for us to think about God and the way He works. But all of this greenery is an indication that there is hope. That sprout is hope. So we're in the business here at the Table Church of providing hope for people. Because this isn't all there is. It's not always going to be a stump. In fact, Jesus is in the business of making living trees out of stumps, and that's you and me. He became a stump so that we could lose our stumpness. That we give Him our stumpness, and He takes it. He becomes a stump. He's cut down, and He gives us life. He gives us His everything having to do with the sprout. He gives to us, because that's who Jesus is for us. So that sprout is on mission for you. That sprout is on mission for our neighbors. Our neighbors. There is life. There is hope. There's forgiveness. Everything that is missing in our society, it's all in Jesus. Jesus plus nothing equals everything. Not just for me, and not just for you, but for our neighbors, wherever they happen to be. So, be on mission this week as you enjoy the benefits of spring break. Many of us, there's a lot of people. You're still going to be working through spring break. You're not tied to the school system. You don't have kids. That's okay too. It's always a good It's always a good thing, though, to be aware of people around us who just don't have hope, because things happen, and I've been reminded that of things happen in life, even this week. And some of you have contacted me. Some things have happened, and I'm here to tell you, again, just like Job, who can't see, he's in this tunnel. He can't see the daylight, but there is that sprout, and that sprout is on mission for you. The sprout absolutely loves you. The sprout is grace for you, and for me, and for our neighbors. That's our conversation at the table. Enjoy your weekend. Spend part of your weekend with us right here. 10:30 on Sunday, we'll be right here at the table, church. Jesus will be here. He's always promised to be here. Whereas people have gathered around a word of the sacrament, Jesus has promised to be, and that's where he will be here on Sunday. He'll be here for me. He'll be here for you. So join us for an hour or so, 10:30, right here at the table, church. Until next time, just remember this, that you are unstoppably, unconditionally, and absolutely loved by Jesus. He absolutely loves you. There's no stopping it. He always, always has you.